Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy. We're going to do these cute Easter palette signs today, and I will have these blanks listed for sale in my Etsy store if you want to get blanks and paint your own. So I wanted to show you kind of how they go together. So this is just like a little shelf leaner. You can just kind of prop it up against the wall or against the shelf. I think they're about 10.5 inches tall by about 4.5 inches wide. So what we have is this cute little carrot, and then there's a bunny one that I'll show you. And so we're going to paint it and assemble it, and I'm going to add some bows and some greenery and stuff. That's totally optional. Like, you could put it together just like this without any of that. But I'm going to do that with you on camera. And I will have a made to order listing where you can order your own and I can paint and assemble it for you. But you can also order the blanks and do it yourself, which is a lot of fun. So this is the bunny one. So this is made with 1/8 inch MDF, and you can see you've got the score lines on there for the placement and cute little bunny feet and a little hop sign and the adorable little palette knife. So or not palette knife, sorry, that's the artist side of me, a little palette backer. I'm going to use the same colors as the designer kind of did in her staging photos because I kind of want to get it as close to what she shared. If you have your own laser and you're interested in getting similar files, this is part of like a subscription that I'm part of. So unless you're in the club, you can't get this particular one for a little while. You can get the blanks from someone like me. But if you are interested in finding like really cute SVG files and you are a laser crafter yourself, the designer is the Sawdust Makery, and she's on Etsy. She also has her own website, great Facebook group. So, but I am a licensed vendor, so I can also sell the blanks if you want to paint your own. But anyway, I'm having a ton of fun playing with these. I made this with my XTOOL S1, and I also have a link for XTOOL in my description box if you're looking to buy a laser. Lots of fun there. But we're going to paint this together. Like I said, these are for sale, but you can also get blanks and do these as projects with your kids for Easter and stuff. So you can see how fun it is. But I like to kind of like dry fit something the first time and make sure I know what goes where before I lay it out. And I'm going to be using a combination of makeup sponges and the little rollers to paint. I most recently switched from the Amazon rollers to the Home Depot 3-inch touch-up rollers, and they're a lot easier to work with. The other thing that's cool about them is you can, instead of like rinsing all of the paint off your roller and wasting all that paint, you can just put the roller in a Ziploc bag and it will actually keep the paint moist. It stays even longer if you put it in the refrigerator. So sometimes I just take the roller out of the bag, plop it on the roller, and use the paint that's on there and don't even have to load it. So it's a great way to kind of preserve the paint. So anyway, let's paint this carrot first. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. We're going to paint the backer white, and then we'll do some of the details. Okay, now I'm not applying a lot of pressure, so really not really applying any pressure at all. I'm just kind of gently going over that. That's how you keep the paint out of your score lines, so you can kind of see what you're doing when you go to apply your design. And then I'm using art glitter glue to put everything together because these are indoor. They're not going to be outdoor. Now you see that I put a little flat base coat on my carrot of white. I wish I had not done that because orange is a transparent color and MDF absorbs color pretty well, and it probably would have been easier just to paint the orange directly on the MDF without the white. But I did it thinking it would actually make it easier, but it did not. So just for what it's worth. So now we're going to paint the body of the bunny. So while we have our white roller, it just makes sense to paint everything white that needs to be white. You can also do this a little faster by putting out some tape, and for your smaller pieces, putting out like a strip of tape. I either put it right on my puppy pad, or you can even wrap it around something else, just so you can kind of assembly line paint, right? But I was too lazy to set it out this time. So now we're going to paint basically everything that we need to have white. At the time I was doing this, I thought that the button was supposed to be gray, and I later figured out it should have been white. So you'll see me mess with that. But pretty easy. So I'll speed this part up, but it goes even faster if you put all your pieces on some tape, just, you know, for what it's worth. All right, so we're painting this little guy. We'll set him aside. Painting his cute little feet. And I painted the back of the bunny backer white first because I thought this green paint was going to be super transparent, but it's really not. It actually has pretty good coverage, and this is craft paint, so most of the paint I'm using is DecoArt Americana, like just craft paint, which works pretty good for projects like this. And the reason why, like, I have a ton of paint and I can mix colors and all that, and sometimes I do, but sometimes like when I can see the colors that she uses in her demo and I can get the colors, I'll try the DecoArt, because my thought is if you try it and you wanted to use similar colors, I could easily show you what colors to get, and they're relatively inexpensive, you know what I mean? So it makes sense. So the color I used for the green is called Aloe, and it's a nice sagey green. So here's the idea with the tape. You can kind of see we're gonna do all of these in cotton candy pink, and now I'm using the little sponge so you can see what that looks like, but you could also use a roller and this would go even faster. So I didn't have a lot of those rollers at the time, so I was careful what I used them for, but I recently ordered some more because, I mean, it would be like done, you know, super fast. So, but that's just to give you an idea of how the tape works. It does make it a lot easier, and then you can reuse the tape a couple times too. So this color I mixed myself with titanium white and a vivid intense turquoise color from DecoArt, and I made that pastel purple myself using white and dioxazine purple. So I do still mix my own colors if I don't have the color that. And here's our little buttons. I do paint the buttons gray, and then I later realized they're supposed to be white, so oops. And in this case, oh no, some of them are actually supposed to be brown, but those two that I'm just painting gray are supposed to be white. So I figured that out later. But yeah, so now we're gonna paint this orange. You can see that painting the carrot white first actually did not help me. It made the fact that the orange is transparent even more noticeable. And so, you know, I find that MDF absorbs color quite well. So sometimes when you think that you're gonna need a base color of white, you don't always. You sometimes just need, you know, 2 or 3 coats of regular paint. So now I am using my distressing ink to distress some of my edges. You can do this with paintbrushes. I just find this so much faster, and I'm not quite skilled with paintbrushes yet at doing that. So when I can, I use the ink. Now you do need to spray seal anything that you use distressing ink, because it's sort of like, you can wipe it off. So I always spray seal everything with a clear spray anyway, so non-issue for me. But yeah, that's all we're doing here. And I actually probably over distressed some of my pieces. I mean, it didn't make it look bad, but I think next time I would just distress some of the larger pieces and the edges of the base, and maybe not all of the little flowers and hearts and toes and all of those things. You know what I mean? So now we're hitting up the carrot. The other thing that I'm not very great at yet is adding little white accent lines. I do try to do it in this project and it turns out, okay. I do use the dotting tool to add little white dots sometimes, little polka dots or little accent dots. I'm using the art glitter glue to assemble and put everything together. And what I basically do is I put a very thin coat on and then I position it and then I just let it get just a little bit tacky and then I press it down. So you'll see me kind of go on to something else and then come back and press it down. And so now we're just kind of filling everything in. And then after it's dry and sealed, I will try to add some bows, which is a work in progress for me. I'm not great at it. But you don't become great at things by not trying them, I've learned. So, you know, the extent of my bow activity has always been Christmas wreaths, and that's wide inch wired ribbon, so it's a little bit different. But I'm really grateful for Chris, who designs these, because she does really great tutorials in her group, and I do learn a lot from her. So I do try to apply a little greenery and cute little carrot ribbon bow to both of these guys, and I will share that process with you. So this is the backer for our bunny we are putting together. It's that nice aloe color that's a nice sage green. You could do whatever color you wanted. And then of course we're putting the little shiplap crossbar on the back of these and placing down our little carrot and bunny, and then we will do any accents and decorations for them. And so this is our little flowers with buttons on them. They're very cute and primitive looking, and so we still have to dot our bunny eyes, which I think I used a paint marker, but you could use a dotting tool and dot them into some, black paint, and whammo. So at this point in time, I was waiting on some greenery, so I put everything on, but the bow, I should have probably done my little tags after or when I had the bow. So this is me trying to do these white accent lines. These are eyeliner brushes you get on Amazon. And when I've seen Chris do this, she dips the brush in some white paint. I think she might actually use a little bit of water, and that might be what I'm doing wrong. But basically she starts in one place and then she sort of pulls up on the brush as she goes along. I just feel like I'm too heavy-handed. You can see I'm having trouble with it. So I finally just went, you know what, like, stop trying to make it perfect and just do it. So I'm adding some little dots with my dotting tool. You can see I'm obsessing about the placement of them. I have trouble with that. That's okay. It's part of the journey, right? And then over here, still struggling, trying to put those lines on. And, from this angle, they still look cute and they're still useful. But I was really struggling with them not being symmetrical or being too fat or too wide or, all the things we struggle with. So this is the greenery. I got it at Walmart. It was like $1.50. And I'm cutting like the tiniest pieces off of it. So that $1.50 is going to go a long way. You know what I mean? And this is just going to give it a little more poof in our bow. I do put the bow too low. It's supposed to be kind of up here with the stem of the carrot, and I put it like right there. So, whatever. Okay, so I'm using hot glue. I was using up the glue stick that was already in my glue gun, but I have heard that Gorilla glue sticks are a lot more durable, so once that one runs out, I'm switching. I do have some. But look at the cute little carrot ribbon. The grass looking stuff is called raffia. I never knew what that was called before. And then I'm just using, I should have glued the tag on first. So you can see me struggling with it. Again, if I had put the bow where it was supposed to go further up on the carrot, that would have worked better. And then my little tag would have gone in a better place, but whatever. So I went ahead and got the good Star Bond stuff so I could get it to hold on and stay there. And then we're going to put that little button on, and then our little carrot is done. We'll do a little clear spray, which I should have done before the ribbon, but I did what I did. And now here's our bunny with his little hop tag. And you can see I did a real sloppy little bow job of that raffia there, and it was kind of too big, so I just cut the bow part and just left it kind of like grass. It'll still serve its purpose, right? Why not? And I was really struggling with my little bow maker to make my carrot ribbon, but I was trying to do it to show you that you can. So that I made that little bow maker with a little jig. And if you are bow challenged like me, it can be helpful. And one day when I feel like I'm better at it, I'll show you, but it's not this day. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll show you a close-up of how they are finished. Sorry about the orientation, but this is the finished project. For some reason, I didn't get a video in the right orientation. But these are cute little leaners. They'll just lean up against the wall on a shelf or whatever. They are in the Etsy shop, and you can purchase the blanks. I'm working on the listing for the blanks, but you can also send me an email. My email's below. And if you're thinking about getting a laser for your own fun projects, my XTOOL link is also below. It's been a great experience. Thanks for watching. Bye.